Hey, Apple friends, guess what? I'm back. I got the iPhone SE after almost a year of trying to break my Apple addiction. I've given in, I've given up, I'm back. All right, guys, I have been taking you on a journey of leaving Apple, and it's been a long road because I've been frustrated. I've been frustrated with how expensive Apple products are. I've been frustrated with how slowly they're innovating. And I've seen my friends on Android with better devices paying less money. And I've seen these other, PCs that are really powerful and a lot cheaper. And I've been frustrated that Apple keeps charging me more money, yet their products don't seem to be getting better at the same rate of some of the other products. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to break my addiction because I'm all in on this Apple ecosystem. So I started with my computer. I got a Chromebook. I actually got a couple Chromebooks to kind of find the right one, and found a good one, and kind of made my at least my on-the-go computer outside of the Apple ecosystem, because I live so much in the Google software ecosystem with Gmail and Google Calendar and all of those things. And so I thought, if I could just be in Google's ecosystem, I don't need Apple. I don't need this expensive hardware anymore. And the phone was the big piece. The phone is what's always on us. So I kept working towards the phone. And then I went to headphones, and I found, after lots of different headphones, the OnePlus Buds. And these were my AirPod replacements. And these took a long time to find. I went through like 5 different headphones to find good AirPod replacements. I got a Wise watch. It's just $25 in comparison to the $300, $400 Apple Watch that I had. And it really does everything that I needed the Apple Watch to do for $25. I was beginning to find my way out of the Apple ecosystem. And then I went with the phone, because that was the big next step of how do I replace the iPhone, because that's what I've had for 10 years. That's what really pulled me into the Apple ecosystem originally, because back then it was the best. If you wanted a smartphone and you wanted the best, you got the iPhone. And so I made the leap. I got a Google Pixel 3a. And I did a lot of research to find the right one, and it really felt like this is the best starter Android device. And I got it, and I got to know it, I got to play it, I customized it, I spent a lot of time learning that Pixel 3a. And because it's quarantine time, I'm not traveling as much. I felt like, this is a time I can really make this shift, and it's not going to slow me down too much. And about 4 months in, I just really started getting frustrated. I got frustrated finding workarounds to email, and that just didn't integrate seamlessly and smoothly as it did on my iPhone, and various apps just didn't work as good as they did on my iPhone. And my frustration just boiled up to a couple weeks ago, and I'd actually seen the iPhone SE and been watching it. And one of my big reasons for leaving Apple is all their phones were over $1,000. Well, Apple came out with a sub $400 phone that looked good, has good specs, and I was like, they did it. That's what I've been waiting for them to do, because I feel like I don't want to be the guy that's using the front, the most expensive tech. I want to be using regular tech and pushing it to its limits. And Apple has now provided a really solid piece of device. And so when my frustration boiled over the top, I went and bought an Apple iPhone SE. And I got to tell you guys, I like it a lot. And so here's the deal. Here's why I gave in to my Apple addiction. It's not because it's better. It's not because it's cheaper. It's because it just works. And that's the bottom line here. Is it really became inefficient for me, and I was wasting my time while trying to save money to abandon Apple's ecosystem, and I just don't feel like it's ready for me to take those steps out. And so I believe that so much in computing is going to browser-based, experiences, and I do believe that I'm going to abandon Apple's ecosystem in the future if things don't change in the Apple world. But at this point, I'm able to get what I need to in this, and these headphones, They're the best. And so, and the Apple products just last longer and they work better. And so I'm back in to the Apple ecosystem. We're recording this on my Mac Mini. I've got a MacBook back home that my dad got a new computer and he gave me his old 6-year-old MacBook, and it's plenty good. It's actually better than my Chromebook when I came to just testing it and comparing the two side by side. And so it's just as easier for me to live back in the Apple ecosystem. And to be honest, it's been refreshing over the last 2 weeks to be back in to the Apple world. Let me share though, as I'm moving back into the Apple world, a few things that I'm going to miss in the Google Android ecosystem. The first thing that I'm going to miss is web messages. So essentially, I can basically do text messages like you do iMessage on your computer through web messages in my browser on my desktop, and it brings in all text messages, not just Apple text messages. iMessage ticks me off. It drives me crazy that Apple would just allow you to communicate back and forth between other Apple devices, where web messages allowed me to do all communication. It's in my web browser through text, which is my primary form of communication with people. And so I really am going to miss that. I wish Apple integrated that. I don't understand why they don't. The second thing that I'm going to miss is multitasking. And I know Apple and iPhone has a layer of multitasking, but the Android is just better. The way I can watch a YouTube video and do something else, and it's like I have a desktop in many ways in my pocket and in my fingers. And so I really did like the multitasking opportunity within the Android device. It's very functional. I think it's really well set up, and I think Apple could learn a few things through Android's multitasking structure. And the last thing that I'm going to miss is kind of funny, but there's no headphone jack. And this is the cheaper phone. And obviously we're moving more and more away from headphone jacks, but I like the option. I've got a pair of Bose headphones that I've used forever that are wired headphones that are just good. And being back on the Android device, I had a headphone jack, and it was nice to be able to use those headphones again on a regular basis. And so I'm still one of those people that while I love the AirPods, I love the stability of the wired headphones. So I'm going to miss those things, but overall, I'm glad to be back and look forward to journeying back into Apple. But I'm going to keep tweaking. I'm going to keep trying headphones. I'm going to keep trying other computers. I'm going to keep trying other tech because I don't want to be addicted to Apple. At this point, it's the most efficient ecosystem for me to live in my hardware world. I'm continuing to lean into the Google software world, and then we'll see where this all goes. It's going to be interesting, and I'll enjoy the ride. I'd love to know what you think. If you've broken your Apple addiction, if you had an Apple addiction, I'd love to hear about it. Or if you're in the same tension point that I'm in, I'd love to know your thoughts, what devices you're using, and which devices maybe you're looking at using. Thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you again on the next episode.